Good evening, passengers. Mega Sim here. It's just gone 10 o'clock at night here in the UK, and I was out for the afternoon evening with family and noticed that there was a news article because we have got a launch date for the Peak Forest Railway. Dwindling days of Derbyshire steam. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the roadmap, the news article together. So we're going to retread the rails of the past, since gone but not forgotten. Trainsimwell 3 Peak Forest Railway, Ambergate to Chinley and Buxton, is coming Tuesday, the 9th of May. That's 2 weeks today. 2 weeks! And it is available to pre-order on Steam from today. And there's a 10% discount if you're on Steam, but we'll look at pricing in a bit. So Dovetail have been documenting the progress of Peak Forest Railway since the announcement of the route in the Festival of Rail back in February, with some key updates appearing in both February and April roadmaps. So once again, Trainsimwell goes back to the twilight days of the British steam era, depicting a line that is now in parts, now lifted and used for recreation as both a walking trail and cycle path. Trainsimwell 3 Peak Forest Railway, Ambergate to Chinley and Buxton will cover the line from Ambergate to Chinley, places both with current stations on the railway network, but with the line linking them now segmented into various uses, from an extant passenger branch line to Matlock, a heritage railway, a footpath cycle track, and parts of a dedicated freight line. So this route add-on takes players back to when the entire line was in use, before some Dr. Idiot decided to come along and break it all up. Anyway, along with the small branch to Buxton. So this is set in 1963. So my dad was very, very little. As you know, Dad, you've got your over 60s rail card now. And this is set some 5 years after Spirit of Steam. So it's the hard-working LMS Fowler Class 4F that represents the fading light of the steam era in Derbyshire. So we've got the locomotives and rolling stock. So adding to the Trainsimwell steam fleet for the first time since Spirit of Steam is the LMS Fowler Class 4F, a 060 tender locomotive, of which 575 were built between 1924 and 1941. So 060 means that there was 0 at the front, no wheels at the front, 6 in the middle, so 3 big wheels either side, and then 0 at the back. Whereas other trains, I think the 8F is 260, so that's kind of how you work that out. Like the Stanier 8F, named after William Stanier, the Fowler 4F is named after its designer, Henry Fowler, though rail fans at the time instead used the name Duck Sixes when spotting these locomotives on the rail network, due to their wheel arrangement. Today only 3 examples survive, all currently under overhaul at various heritage railways. Players of Spirit of Steam will notice an immediate difference in the cab layout of the 4F when compared to the larger Jubilee and 8F locomotives. The head-out camera will come in very handy because the windows offer limited visibility for the footplate crew. This will be particularly important during banking operations, a unique style of gameplay for a British route introduced here to assist trains hauling heavy limestone. Carrying the limestone is a new ICI hopper wagon, working in conjunction with the 20-ton brake van first seen in Spirit of Steam. Both the LMS Jubilee and the Stanier 8F, seen previously in Spirit of Steam, will also be included in this route add-on alongside the new 4F, seeing all 3 Trainsimwell steam locomotives running together along the line. A varied selection of services will be available to operate, including local stopping and express passenger services with the Jubilee and Mark I coaches. We have the limestone quarry shunting and banking, with the 8F, the 4F and the ICI hoppers. We have yard shunting services with the 4F and various freight wagons. We have local freight with the 8F and various freight wagons, And we have light loco services featuring all 3 locos. Also, double heading locos will feature in one of the scenarios, so that's 2 steam trains at the front. There are no additional service layers for this route add-on. The LMS Jubilee, the LMS standing at 8F, the Mark 1 coaches, freight wagons and 20-ton brake van from Spirit of Steam are all included when purchasing Peak Forest Railway, along with the new LMS Fowler 4F and ICI hopper wagons. So if you don't have Spirit of Steam already, you will get all the trains that Spirit of Steam have provided onto this route. I'm not going to mention any other layers unless it is mentioned in this news article about using that as a layer on other routes, because we have the Jubilee on Southeastern High Speed and we have it on Midland Main Line. Will it be able to use the Peak Rail version of the Jubilee, or does it have to be the Spirit of Steam one? And just thinking about it, actually, the 8F Crimbo version on Midland Main Line is actually from the DLC for West Cornwall Local. So yeah, anyway, you know where I'm coming from. You're probably going to ask a question anyway, so I'm just going to wait for it when you send it to me. But as we find out from Dovetail, we'll find out more about any additional layers coming out of this route to other routes. Anyway, those significant portions of the route have since been taken up. Derbyshire locals and keen walkers may be familiar with several locations along the way. Between Ambergate and Matlock, the line is still in use as a branch line running through this is my favourite station. I'm going to admit, my favourite station name is Wat Stanwell, Cromford and Matlock Bath, and from Matlock to Roseley, because that is part of the Heritage Railway Peak Rail. A distinctive station building can be seen at Cromford with a fascinating history encompassing the freight trains seen in this route add-on and some rock and roll from more recent times. You can read more about this from their friends at We Are Rail Fans in their article Standing at the Station, and a link will be in the news article. In-game beyond Matlock, a series of freight sidings, mills, bridges and tunnels exist as they were during the early 1960s, along with Bakewell Station, that once served the town from which the famous tart gets its name, which is the Bakewell tart. And actually the Bakewell tart, which I'm going to mention anyway, looks totally different. So you think of a Bakewell tart with the icing on top and the cherry. No. Look up an original Bakewell tart. They look totally different. But I don't like it anyway because I hate cherries and I hate the taste of the marzipan stuff that they have in it. Anyway, I digress. Other stations had already closed by the 60s at Hassop, Great Longston and Monsaldale. Today, Hassop Station is a tea room and cafe for walkers and cyclists along the Monsell Trail, which runs along the 8.5 mile stretch of this railway route. The line continues via Millersdale, Peak Forest and Chapel en le Frith Central to reach Chinley at the northern limit of this route. And Chinley is actually on the Peak District, so if you go on that you'll be able to get to Chinley. The branch heading off to Buxton, a spa town famed for its spring water, also features as a terminus for passenger services, branching off at the junction between Millersdale and Peak Forest stations. Buxton is still available, so part of the real life line still exists between Buxton and Chinley and is in use today for freight trains as part of the Great Rocks line. So yeah, there are bits of this route that still exist today. So Thursday the 4th of May, so not this Thursday, next Thursday, there will be a Railfan TV YouTube video at 7 o'clock British Summer Time, which is 6 o'clock UTC. So there will be a preview of the Peak Forest Railway, Ambergate to Chinley and Buxton. Just a reminder on the pricing. It is the new pricing since Train Simwell 3, which is £29.99, $40 or €36. So, £39.99 and £35.99. Now, I know that people have grumbled about the pricing, but I don't know. Things have gone up. You used to be able to get stuff for next to nothing, and it's all gone up. Fuel's gone up, bread's gone up, clothes have gone up. Why not games? You've got games that are extortionate out there. Now, Dovetail and the other third-party people, they need to pay the wages, they need to pay for the rent and the software and the licensing and, all of that stuff. So I would expect it to go up anyway. So I don't think £5 much of a difference with what you're going to get. But, you know, it's always going to be like that. People are always going to have their thoughts on it. You know, for me, FIFA, I wouldn't pay full price for FIFA. I got my FIFA for 15 quid on Xbox, and I think I got it for 20 quid on PlayStation 5 because I wanted the PlayStation 5 controller features. But, you know, that sort of thing, I would refuse to pay the 70 odd quid because I feel that's too much for that game. But anyway, long story short, that's what the prices are, and we are looking forward to this. 2 weeks today, it will be coming out. Now, because of this last minute thing in work and things like that, I'm not going to do the 12 days, 12 stations like I did for Midland Main Line. I'm not going to visit every station, but what I might try and do is over the next couple of weeks or whenever I can, I might go to some of them. So keep a lookout for some videos. If it's going to be worst case, I think I'll do the Derwent Valley line, which is Ambergate to Matlock. That's kind of the most I'll do, just because of time spans. I might do more later on in the year, but before it gets released, I am probably going to stick to the Derwent Valley line. So, as you can see on the map that keeps coming round, that would be Ambergate, Watts, Stanwell, Cromford, Matlock, Bath and Matlock. I think going further than that's probably a bit of a push at the moment for me. But at least you'll get to see some of it. That's if I get the go-ahead from, you know, Mrs. Megasim. But anyway, I am looking forward to this route. There are some changes that have been made, especially with the Spirit of Steam, with Steam and things like that. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes to get working. So Dovetail have been asking questions. I'm going to say it. Dovetail have been asking us questions, ambassadors and other such like ones to help Dovetail, you know, of any like outstanding issues with Spirit of Steam, with that sort of thing. So it's not going to be perfect, I will admit. You know, I've seen a few comments on these pictures to say that the lighting's a bit off, and I think that is the same as well. You know, for Trace World 3, there's a lot of work that's been happening, but Spirit of Steam and this are kind of like, I don't know. I like the sound of this route, and I think this is going to be a good route, but there are still going to be a little niggly bits that everyone's going to have with these routes. But a lot of time and effort does go into them, and unfortunately there are some things that are core based that need to be improved, and it's just trying to get round to that, plus bringing out new routes to pay for that. You know, if they ever stop doing these routes, well, who's going to pay the wages? Because people aren't just going to buy the same routes. You know, you need the new routes to then pay for all that extra work. But anyway, I digress. This is the new route. I'm looking forward to it. As soon as I get my hands on it, I'll be taking a look at it, seeing how it is. You know, there's a lot of freight, so it's not really my cup of tea, freight, but we'll get there. We'll slowly get there. But good stuff coming ahead, and hopefully, you know, we'll get some real world videos of the stations now. If I have enough time, I might have a look and see if there's like some footage or photos that I'm able to use online. Maybe I can look at that. If not, I will probably ask you to look that up yourself and then just show you the modern version of those stations. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos from LaMegaSim. Social media links are in the description below. And yeah, I will see you on the next video. This Saturday, I'm going to say this Saturday's Train Real World is amazing. So look out for that. And also I've got another video that I'm umming and ahhing to release. And it's something that's up north by the coast. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I will see you on the next video. This is MegaSim out here. See you soon, guys. Bye.